A raw and heated debate took place last night between Ohio Senate candidates Tim Ryan and J.D. Vance.
A recent study has shown that Americans are struggling to keep up with the cost of living due to the increasingly rapid inflation rates.
Happy October! It's postseason baseball time. What does that mean? Learn baseball basics coming up in sports.
This is TV2 News.
Good Tuesday morning, Portage County, and welcome back to TV2 News. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm Lindy Griesinger.
And I'm Natalie DeSantis.
Kent State is celebrating 10 years of LaunchNet success and accomplishments. Starting today through November 9th, you can visit a gallery exhibit located on the second floor in the Design Innovation Hub. LaunchNet is a business startup program that provides guidance and workspace to develop ideas. Stop in the DI Hub starting today at 9 a.m. View the past 10 years of the program's success.
The summer undergraduate research experience participants are giving their 3-minute presentations today from 1 to 3 p.m. in the Kent Student Center. An award ceremony will be held afterward from 3:45 to 4:30 p.m. in the Kiva. The program allows undergraduates a chance to spend 8 weeks over the summer engaging in faculty-supervised research.
This week, we celebrate the 6th Annual National Transfer Student Week. This year's theme, Plug into Transfer. Students can celebrate all week long with events such as social media contests, a virtual scavenger hunt, painting the rock, and even a Taco Tuesday event today. Kent State says they're excited to recognize students who became Golden Flashes via the transfer process.
The second annual Pack the Bus benefit is being held today at the United Methodist Church of Kent on 1435 East Main Street from noon to 1:30. The event is being held by the Rural Relief Mobile Food Pantry and the Rotary Club of Kent to give back to the community and help those in need. Donations of hygiene products have been requested specifically by the organization, and if you are unable to join them at the church, you can always donate via their GoFundMe or order from their online shopping list.
Good morning to Portage County. I'm Mara O'Malley, and it is spooky season, which means spooky weather. This week's forecast is all over the place in typical Ohio fashion, but before I get ahead of myself, let's take a look at what the weather is currently looking like in Kent. So right now it's about 36 degrees. It feels a little bit chillier at 32. We have a dew point at 35 degrees and a humidity at 94%. We have winds coming in from the west at 5 miles per hour, so a little breezy out there, and a visibility of 0 miles. All across northeast Ohio, you're seeing temperatures at about 36 degrees, but up in Cleveland, it gets a little bit warmer at 45. So just depending on where you are, you're just looking at your mid-30s to your mid-40s. And then this is where it gets a little bit spooky. So for our 7-day forecast for the next few days, you're looking at snow and rain, 40 degrees, pretty chilly outside. And then come Saturday and Sunday, we jump 30 degrees warmer at 72 with lots of sun, a little breezy still, but sunny and warm. And then it drops down at 66 back on Monday. So if you're like me, this nice sun, a little bit warmer weather, a little bit nicer. So before that snow and rain returns, take advantage of this weather while we still have it. I'm Mara O'Malley, and that's all I have for you today. Back over to you, Lindy and Natalie.
Ohio's congressional redistricting lines are now in front of the Supreme Court. The 2 previous and 2 current lawmakers announced the filing of the appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court, calling the district maps, quote, unlawfully passed.
A raw and heated debate took place last night between Ohio Senate candidates Tim Ryan and J.D. Vance in what is considered to be the closest race in the 2022 cycle, with Tim Ryan ahead by merely half of a percentage point. Both candidates clashed over the topics of Joe Biden, Donald Trump, guns, immigration, and abortion.
Vice President Kamala Harris visited Los Angeles yesterday to discuss abortion rights. She hosted the moderated event at the Nate Holden Performing Arts Center in Mid-City. For almost an hour, the vice president discussed the issue with Congresswoman Karen Bass and a representative from Planned Parenthood. LA. The conversation took place before a crowd of 400 supporters, including state and local leaders.
Let's just pause for a moment. the highest court in our land, the United States Supreme Court, just took a constitutional right that had been recognized from the people of America, from the women of America.
A Bank of America-sponsored survey found that nearly 3 in 4 workers said that the cost of living was more than their income. As the prices inflate, people are feeling pressure to make last resort decisions. The economic strain is causing 21% of the population to dip into emergency funds to pay bills, 6% are withdrawing from their 401ks, and 20% are finding new jobs completely.
Stock markets went up on Monday after several big financial institutions reported earnings that beat expectations. SP 500 closed with a gain of 2.7%. Investors are keeping a close eye on companies' earnings this quarter to gauge whether big corporations are feeling the effects of an economic downturn.
The Pentagon is seriously considering funding Elon Musk's Starlink satellite network in Ukraine. The money would most likely come from the U.S. Department of Defense's Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative. Musk stated that SpaceX spends nearly $20 million a month to maintain satellite service in Ukraine and has spent $80 million to enable and support Starlink there.
And an update on Ukraine, 2 people were killed and 1 injured in Russia's attacks on Tuesday. The Kremlin says it has not set a date for President Vladimir Putin's partial mobilization order. The Russian Ministry of Defense sets, quote, quota for each region that must be completed. However, fulfillment of the quota does not mean that the mobilization is over. Your favorite childhood playland is making a comeback. Toys R Us is opening once again in select Macy's locations across America.
Been invested in the Guardians' success, but you don't know how baseball works? I've got you, coming up in sports. It's sports time, Portage County. I'm Della Fowler. Now, I'm sure you've heard about the Guardians postseason run by now, but if you haven't grown up around baseball, it probably looks like a bunch of guys swinging bats and running around a field rather than an art. Don't worry though, I've got you. Let's take on some baseball basics. So, the time of a baseball game is measured in innings rather than a set clock like a lot of sports. There are 9 innings total, but if the game is tied, they do play extra innings until the tie is broken. But what happens in an inning? So every inning has a top half and a bottom half. The visitors get to bat in the top and try to score, and then the home team bats in the bottom of the inning. So the Guardians, let's say they're at home at beautiful Progressive Field, they will come up to bat after the visitors have their chance, of course. And the time length of an inning depends on how long it takes for the pitcher and his defense to get 3 outs. Now, this is where you hear terms like strikeouts or home runs. But let's take a look at exactly what that looks like. So here we have our beautiful setup of Progressive Field. Now you can see the defensive outliers. We have first base, second base, third base, shortstop, catcher, pitcher, left field, right field, center field, all the beautiful things. So if the Guardians are coming up to bat, they would be in the bottom of the inning. So you can score in a couple of ways. You can either hit it out of the park as long as it's between these 2 foul poles there, or you can hit, let's say, a double to the left-hand corner over here, and that'll score your guy at second. He will have time to run home because the outfielder will be chasing the ball and getting it, and hopefully you will have time to come home. And that is beautiful, and it's a great and wonderful game. I really encourage anyone to try and watch it. Another great way I love to explain it is it's kind of like kickball that you played in elementary school, but with bats. Now, you can test your knowledge of baseball for Game 5 against the Guardians and Yankees. Game 5 of the ALCS. They will be taking on the Yankees in the Bronx. For TV2 Sports, I'm Della Fowler.
Toys R Us is officially making a comeback through a number of Macy's department stores across the country. Some select in-store locations opened in July of 2022, while the rest opened just last Saturday on October 15th. Some of the shops take up more than 10,000 square feet of space and have made toy purchase rates skyrocket. In celebration of the new stores, Macy's and Toys R Us have planned out 9 days of family events. A full list can be found on Macys.com.
A family in Avon is working on opening a nonprofit board game cafe in Avon for people with intellectual disabilities. The cafe will be equipped with over 600 board games and will serve as a space where people can hang out and have fun. The cafe, called I'm Possible Games, will also employ people with disabilities and teach them job skills. The game cafe is currently accepting donations as it works to open its physical location in the near future. This is very nostalgic, you know, getting to play board games and stuff. My personal favorite is Monopoly, so that's what I'm hoping to play.
Love it.
That was one of my favorites growing up. We played it all the time.
You know, I actually prefer card games too.
Oh my
I
gosh,
love
I
them,
am a
yes.
self-acclaimed poker shark. I love it so much.
I never learned to play.
I don't understand poker at all. I
One
really
day
don't.
we'll have to have like a poker morning.
We absolutely
We'll
should.
do a how-to poker instead of a how-to baseball segment.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
But let's also not forget this cute little cafe too. It's a cute little pig cafe.
Yeah.
And so you check out this other themed cafe. Speaking of, this one isn't in Ohio. In fact, it's actually in Japan. This cafe puts an unexpected twist on cat cafes by giving customers the opportunity to play with pigs. This pig cafe in Tokyo is bringing in people just to see these curly-tailed pigs.
And with Halloween approaching, something we have to keep in mind is our pets' safety. There are many things we can do to make sure we protect our pets and local wildlife. Some spooky decorations could be dangerous to our animals, including jack-o'-lanterns, as candles can put them at burn risk. Make sure to keep chocolate and other candies out of paw's reach for them and provide a safe space for pets when the trick-or-treaters come to your door.
All right, what are you guys doing with your pets for Halloween? What are we thinking? Are we gonna dress them up, or are we
Personally,
Yes.
I love the spiders when people dress their dogs up as
Oh
spiders.
my gosh, so adorable. My
what I wanna
mom
do.
got my bigger dog, it's like kind of a golden retriever mix, a dragon costume.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yes,
I love that.
absolutely love it. It really goes with her red fur. It's really cute.
Oh,
I
that's
love
so
it.
fun.
Yes.
I love Halloween with pets. You know, I found my dog. I rescued him when we were out camping for Halloween. He was a stray. So I always have a special place in my heart for him at Halloween, so it always makes me think of him and miss
That's
him.
so precious.
My mom wants to desperately dress up our 3 puppies this Halloween. I don't know what she wants to dress them up as, but she keeps going to Walmart and picking out new costumes all the time, even though they're definitely going to grow out of them by the time Halloween comes around, but she wants to dress them up immediately.
It absolutely calls for coordination.
Oh, I know. All 3 of them need to be
Absolutely.
coordinated.
Absolutely.
And that is all the time that we have for this morning. For updates on all of these stories and more, be sure to visit our website, kentwired.com, and follow us on social media at KentWired. I'm Lindy Griesinger.
And I'm Natalie DeSantis. Have a great day, Portage County.